It's one again from Physique Transformation Academy, and today I want to chat with you guys about how I personally eat on vacation. I'm not making a video on how you should eat on vacation because this is a very individual choice that each person is going to make. So I don't like telling people exactly what to do while on a vacation. Of course, unless you're on a contest prep. If you're getting ready for a bodybuilding show and you're, say, 4 weeks out, 6 weeks out, 10 weeks out from the show, number one, you should probably not be going on vacation. But if for some reason you are, then I honestly expect you to be single-focusedly minded on that show and to stick to your diet. To be honest, for me personally, that's not going to be as much fun of a vacation. But I recently went on a vacation, went 3 weeks to Europe, and I was posting my meals on Instagram and Facebook, and people were shocked at what I was eating. And funny enough, I came back and I was actually even lighter and just as lean from the vacation. So, what did I do in order to be able to eat whatever I really wanted in very large quantities and still not gain a bunch of unwanted body fat? Because we always hear the person that goes away and comes back 15 pounds heavier and with a bunch of blubber. They look like they've never trained before. I'm going to tell you my strategies for myself. Number one, I don't believe in going on vacation and sticking to your diet 100%. That, to me, again, that's not as fun. I love food. I really enjoy food. And I see food as an experience. So, again, not everybody enjoys food as much as I personally do. To me, that's a huge part of the experience of going to a different country. So, I choose to enjoy food and partake in the food there. Now, I just did a diet, a 16-week diet. I got into almost contest shape before this trip. So, I will say I was on T3 and Clen before the trip. Now, it would be a horrible idea to pull these two compounds out and go away on vacation, and all of a sudden you have a difference in your metabolic rate due to this. So now you can't eat as much food, and it's going to be very easy to pack on body fat unless you're 100% staying on a diet. Now, even then, even if you were back home and sticking 100% to your diet, these are compounds that I believe should be tapered off, not just come off completely the day of the show. So, I continued on a lower dose of my T3 and Clen in order to be able to still maintain some of that metabolic effect as I tapered off over a few weeks. Now, that's number one. Number two, cardio and steps. Back home, I was used to getting about 13 to 14,000 steps a day. I was doing 35 minutes of cardio 5 days a week. Seeing that I'm going away and I am going to be eating a lot more food, I'm choosing to eat a lot more food, I brought my steps up dramatically. I would walk everywhere. I did not believe in elevators. I did not believe in the automatic stairs. I would take stairs whenever I could. I would wake up early, go on morning walks, and just walk as much as I possibly could. I actually enjoy exploring a new city by walking, not just getting on a taxi cab or a bus. And even to the gym, I would walk 50 minutes to the gym in Greece. So I was averaging 25 to 30,000 steps a day. One day I even got 34,000 steps. So that's number one. Just always on the move, always moving, always moving, always moving, never just sitting down. If my family's tired and they were sitting down, I would just say, hey, I'm going to go walk to this store. I'm going to go walk over there. I would just choose to constantly walk. Number two, when I had access to gyms, I would do cardio. I would either wake up early and do cardio, or I would do cardio after my workouts. That I wasn't living in the gym, but I was working. I was doing cardio. Training. I'm a huge fan of training while on vacation. Number one, I love training. I love having a good pump. Number two, it's going to offset a lot of that food. And I would say, I like to at least believe that even in that short term, while you're away on vacation, seeing that there's a large caloric surplus, maybe you might be able to gain some muscle mass if you're still training really hard. Now, I believe in training just as hard while I'm away. I never believe in backing off training. So, while I was away, I actually hit my first 6-plate squat, so 585. I was hitting deadlifts over 500 pounds, bench presses over 350 pounds. So I was still working really, really hard in the gym. So that's another factor that will burn more calories. And when you do that, it actually motivates you to stick a bit more to your diet while you're away. So that's another factor. Now let's talk about the food. The way that I like to structure my food when I'm away, especially a big chunk of that 3 weeks was a 1 long week cruise. where the food is super high quality and unlimited. How do I choose to do the food? I love breakfast, so I have a giant breakfast. Pretty much whatever I want. I like to have a gauge of not just eat until I want to puke. I eat until I'm really full and satisfied. I also choose to eat not a ton of sweets, especially for breakfast. For breakfast, I like to eat a ton of salmon, eggs, some cheese, avocado. I eat plenty of fruits. I do like some breads and muffins, but I wouldn't say I go crazy on cookies or anything like that. Have a massive breakfast. Then for lunch, I stick to just protein. Just some chicken breast. The odd time I would have a little bit of dressing on a salad or a few potatoes here or like a breaded chicken breast. But I would mainly stick to just plain grilled chicken breast and some veggies when I had the option, or just plain chicken breast. So have breakfast, say 7, 8 a.m., massive breakfast, probably at least 2,000 to 3,000 calories. Lunch, literally just chicken breast. And then for dinner, I stick to mainly meat at the dinner table. I'm not a huge fan of carbs when it comes to grains and starches. So, and when I say not a fan, it's just I don't enjoy them as much. I don't typically enjoy things like pasta, breads, rice. I think they're meh. I eat them for function, but not because I love their taste. So I would stick mainly to steaks, a little bit fattier than what I would eat at home. Very high protein. And then I do like desserts. So I would have plenty of desserts for dinner. Whether it be, and then the cruise are small amounts of things like cheesecakes, pies, all this kind of stuff. And I would try all this with my wife. I'd have a little bit of everything. And then, but when it comes to meat, plenty of meat. And I enjoy the meat. I would have ribs. I would have pulled pork. And that would be about it. 2 massive meals, 1 very small protein-only lunch. And when I wasn't on the cruise, what I would do is, again, not eat a bunch of rice, potatoes. I would mainly stick to eggs, chicken breast, protein powder, low-carb protein bars, and then I would eat as many treats and pastries as I would want. So I do like things like baklava, for example, or cookies or whatever. Now, when it comes to drinks, just water. Literally just water. I don't even have calorie-free drinks. I will actually, you know what? I would have a little bit of milk with my breakfast, but apart from, or a coffee, but apart from that, just water. Don't be drinking alcohol. Don't be drinking pops or anything like that. That will kill you in your progress. That's one of the worst things you can possibly do. The other thing about food, I don't do candies. Candies will kill you. Things like chocolates, even, they're just so calorie dense. You can have a little bit here and there, but I wouldn't say, go wild on chocolates or candies. Those are just so heavily packed. Now, again, in the short term, you're going to gain some water weight. You're going to gain, there's going to be a difference with your hydration levels. But when I came back from the trip, I was actually a little bit lighter. So surprisingly enough, I was able to enjoy all this food and come back lighter. And that's what I typically do on vacation. And I never have the problem of, I gained a bunch of body fat while I was away. Nope. Mainly because I burn off a ton of that energy and I focus on training. I focus on getting steps in. I focus on doing cardio. And on top of all that, I do eat big, but only about twice a day. And I don't just stuff my face every moment I get the chance. I'm hungry when it comes to breakfast. I eat a ton. Since I have a very small lunch, by the time dinner comes, I'm hungry again. I eat a ton, and then that cycle continues. Now, another thing, I don't go on vacation even once a year. This might be a vacation that I do every 3 to 4 years, so it's not something that I'm doing often. If I was doing this sort of vacation 2-3 times a year, I wouldn't be eating that way. I'd be a lot more strict with the way I ate. But I got to enjoy with family, got to enjoy some new foods, and came back ready to absolutely crush my off season. Now, unfortunately, yesterday I actually broke my toe. My big toe dropped a 45-pound plate on it. So my off season is going to be delayed for a little while. But thankfully, again, I didn't come back fat. So quite lean right now. The goal is to maintain that while I focus on healing and then start my off season. So these are the strategies that I use when I'm on vacation in terms of eating and not gaining a bunch of body fat. Maybe you can find a tip in there or a strategy for you to be able to follow. And still be able to enjoy your vacation, enjoy different food, and not get fat. So I hope that helps out, guys.